So how good is Jeudy really? It's a compelling question, I think, because obviously he was a very hyped up player, but some of the numbers haven't exactly lived up to that hype. He was personally my favorite wide receiver out of that draft class. But, I don't think he's totally lived up to that. And part of that is, listen, it's hard to evaluate wide receivers. No one really gets it totally consistently. It's just difficult. But it's easier to evaluate them at the NFL level. So let's evaluate Jeudy at the NFL level and see how good is he really. Is there still some of the flashes that we saw in college and even seen at the NFL level? It's not like he's been a bust or anything like that. He has certainly shown flashes, so let's talk about that. So first, let's start off with a play like this. So what's going to happen here is it's man coverage, and you see Jeudy's kind of just running a simple route over the middle. It's nothing too fancy. You have another receiver who's lined up in front of him, just going to run a deeper route, kind of designed to clear out space for Jeudy underneath to make a catch and pick up some yards. It's a third down, and you have to get to the 50, so it's going to be a little bit tough, especially with there being a safety who can come in and make a play, but there's a chance that this can work out. Right when this play begins, you do see how Jeudy is open right here. But again, he has to get to the 50-yard line. That's what he has to do. So he has a chance, but it's going to be difficult. As you see, Bridgewater hits him, and Jeudy does a great job of making a move and picking up that first down. And these are the flashes that we saw at the college level. Part of why I fell in love with him so much at the college level was just how shifty he was and still is. He still has that shiftiness, which is what still allowed him to have his moderate success that he's had already, at the NFL level. And also, something like this, I think, is very fascinating. So what's going to happen here is this is going to be a zone coverage play. You see where he is on the field. Again, he's the one who I've circled in white. He's going to eventually run a deeper route over the middle. And this is something where, listen, Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback. Even Drew Lock has things that, you can like about him. He's not a star by any means. Bridgewater is certainly better. I'm just saying that, the situation that Jeudy was in last year wasn't exactly the Giants with Mike Glennon out there, right? Specifically with Bridgewater, it was fine. It wasn't good. It wasn't ideal, but it was okay. It wasn't a complete dumpster fire either. But there were certainly things that you feel like, man, if Russell Wilson's out there, these are opportunities that could be exciting for Broncos fans. And this is when I saw this play, I thought, this could be interesting. So, first, let's just start off the play. Look, as you see, Jeudy's starting off his route, which really is often designed to just take away the safety. But you see how well he runs that route to where, at this point, he's open down the field. Now, Bridgewater's getting flushed out to the other side of the field. He's not going to be able to notice this and make the play. I don't know if Russell Wilson notices this and make the play on this specific play, which is kind of a well-defended play, and did take a bit for Jeudy to get open. But these are the kind of things that Wilson can do, right? Is he can eventually get open or, get out of the pocket and give himself more time, which can allow for a Jeudy potentially to get open down the field. I mean, how often have we seen, Wilson to Tyler Lockett make that connection? Maybe this could happen with Jeudy. Look, as you see, Bridgewater just throws it away there, which, again, I'm not hating on Bridgewater. I think that's a fine play by him. But again, you're going from fine to really good, and sometimes, debatably the best in football with Russell Wilson. So because of that swing that you're getting, that's why things get exciting. There's also stuff like this, which I think it's again, it's fine plays. It's not highlight reel level stuff, but it's still like quality plays that you're going to want from a wide receiver, especially if you are a heavy passing attack, which I presume they will be, where what's going to happen here is it's a cover 2 zone, and you see Jeudy's route. It's going to just be, kind of one of those routes that gets past the linebackers over the middle, but in front of the safeties where there is kind of an eye of the storm area right there. Right when this play begins, what you notice is that Jeudy is looking around and he sees where there can be a potential window. And this is a big quality in a wide receiver, is spotting the windows that allow your quarterback to make a throw. That's a huge quality in a wide receiver. Something you don't often think about. A lot of times you look at this stuff and say, this isn't that difficult of a route to run, but there is definitely an art to it. And there's a reason why some guys seemingly always get these catches and other guys do not. As you see, Jeudy does a great job of kind of getting into that zone and just hanging out there until the ball gets to him, and then he's able to make the play. And this is something Jeudy has done well at the college level, and it's something he's continued to do well at the NFL level. So again, these are just the kind of little things that are going to help out Russell Wilson and could potentially, if he gets the ball more, could, even continue to help that out. And part of why, he didn't get as many yards last year was just injury. He wasn't out there every game. But there's also something like this, which I like, where what's going to happen is it's going to be a one-on-one matchup with Jeudy and the defensive back who is going up one-on-one against him. And watch how quickly he's going to win. As you see, Jeudy does very quickly gets to the inside to where at this point, he has the inside leverage and Bridgewater can make the throw. That's just great footwork, and his footwork still, it flashes and you see it and it's very impressive. Now, Bridgewater makes this throw, and honestly, from this angle, I couldn't tell exactly what happened. It looks like he just dropped it. I checked the other angle and I couldn't really tell there either, so I'm not sure if it was just a drop or if somehow the defensive back got a hand in there. Drops have been a bit of an issue with Jeudy. That's kind of been one of his bigger critiques, I would say, other than just not getting playing time, would be that. But I'm focusing on the positives here. Really good start to the route, I think. And then finally, one other thing that I think Jeudy did a pretty solid job at so far and can continue to do this sort of the basic stuff, which can allow for maybe those deep plays to continue to go, is something like this, where it's zone coverage and you see where Jeudy is on the field and watch what he's going to do. As you see, Bridgewater takes the snap and makes a quick throw to Jeudy, who just does a great job of, finding a stop spot, turning around, making a catch, and picking up as many yards as possible. Again, this is basic, simple stuff, but you need someone who can do the basic, simple stuff, and he has the capabilities of doing the more exciting stuff, and that's why I think there's still a lot of intrigue with Jeudy, because he is someone who, at the very least, is a good wide receiver. At the very least, he's a quality player who can run his setup routes well, and he can, find the soft spots in the zone well. That's his floor, and his ceiling is still so much higher than that, especially with a great quarterback coming to town. So yeah, again, if you're a fan of like PFF grades, which again, I think are solid, I think that they'll get you in the ballpark. They might not be perfect, but like most stats, they get you in the ballpark. He was the 56th graded wide receiver out of 115 eligible receivers, so kind of right in that middle of the pack last year. It's only 85th out of 127 in 2020, so he has seen some improvements. I think there are some people who are kind of just immediately saying, he'll be in a better situation now, so that'll cause him to be a lot better. And not that he was bad anyways. I thought that his first season, I'm imagining drops were a big part of that lower grade, which those tend to, kind of right themselves, because just like no one drops like too consistently, and his drops weren't a problem in college, so I'd probably write that off as a bit fluky. But he showed flashes. The one thing I would say is this wasn't, again, I said it in the video, this wasn't Mike Glennon's Giants that he was dealing with. There is talent on that team. It's a fine offensive line. Bridgewater is solid. Drew Lock's not great, but still, Bridgewater is solid, and you still had other guys who could take some attention off of him. So again, how healthy was he? That's always going to be a question, and that's fair. So I'm not giving up on Jeudy at all. I like him, but I'm also kind of sort of just a little bit saying, okay, just because Russell Wilson is there doesn't mean he's going to become a number one wide receiver. But it doesn't mean he isn't either. It's totally possible. But that's kind of just my full thoughts on Jeudy. There's definitely stuff to like there and a lot of flashes he's shown. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. Of course, as always, thanks for watching.